Evening, or technically good morning, good Thursday morning. I'm 5 News Chief Meteorologist Matt Standards. We're still watching severe thunderstorms in the River Valley. This is a live look coming in from Ozark right down the Arkansas River, and we're watching intense storms come in from the west. There's a lot of lightning, there's some gusty winds, and every once in a while we get some pockets of hail. But how the hail has been acting so far tonight, you get a pocket of some large hail, quarter size, even up to golf ball size. Look at that lightning. That's impressive. You get some golf ball sized hail, and then the thing fizzles out 10 minutes later, and then down the road 20 minutes it starts to pick back up. So be on the lookout, pockets of hail. Not everyone's going to get hit. It's kind of like whack-a-mole tonight, here and there. Not everyone's going to get some, but most of us are getting some rain at some point. Some of us are still waiting, but this is a live look in Ozark as we're watching more of that rain come in. All right, new severe thunderstorm warning coming in for Ozark, southern Franklin County, watching these storms come in. So Charleston, west to Fort Chaffee, we've got the heavy rain, and that continues towards the south and west in LeFlore County as well. In LeFlore County and Poteau, getting a lot of heavy rain at this time. We had some golf ball sized hail right over Kavanaugh Hill and into downtown Poteau and into the north side, past the high school. You get towards the Walmart, and we had some of that hail too. We got a good pocket of wind and lightning and some hail coming into Johnson County right now as well. Let's zoom in a little bit closer to the heart of the River Valley. I tell you what, before we really get going, Fort Smith, Van Buren, Southsaw, you're good. Northwest Arkansas for the metros, you're good too. You get west of Spiro, we're looking good. This is that final round of heavy rain that continues to come in. However, notice where it's going. It continues to ride over the same locations. Guys, there's a chance for some small flooding across parts of LeFlore County and Sebastian County now as this heavy rain just is lined up. So when you get severe storms, a lot of times you have storms moving into new environments, but notice how they're not moving into new environments. They're going right over the same locations now. That generally starts to reduce the severe threat over time, but we're still producing a lot of water, and there's still some hail out there. I want to show you just a wide view with some of the rotations. We've had some rotation here recently, and this is taking a look at some of the cloud tops as well. It looks like our strongest thunderstorm right now is in Johnson County, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer here for just a moment, but right now we got some hail coming in to Johnson County. Here's a little bit closer of a view. We've had some nickel-sized hail, it looks like roughly over Batson, and then south towards the interstate. So there near Whitaker Village, we had some hail pass on through Cole Hill. We're right on the edge of some hail. This will continue to move east towards Woodland and Hartman, Montana, Arkansas, and Spadra and Jamestown. We're going to be watching some of this hail come in too. So that's something to watch out for. On the velocity right now, we're watching some of that hail as well. So I'm getting a couple other things together on our live stream, so just give me a moment, and then we'll kind of start back up from the beginning again. All right, some very gusty winds coming in. I'll analyze that in just a moment. But I want to show you what it looks like outside once again in Ozark, where we've got that new severe thunderstorm warning. Very frequent lightning coming in from the Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave, just right down the Arkansas River. And when you get those lightning strikes, you can kind of see the cloud structure. We're actually surrounded by storms in Ozark right now. That was a good flash. The ones that provide structure, and you can actually see the clouds a little bit more, you can see where the storm is, those are lightning bolts coming in from the west. You also will see some flashes from the back, like that one. That's coming in from the east. You're not going to see the bolt because the lightning bolt's on the other side of the camera. But we're surrounded with lightning right now in Ozark. Boy, it is loud, but if you're just sitting there looking out your window, boy, do you have a show right now in Franklin County. Got a show in Johnson County too, but right now we're watching that heavy rain continue to push in. But we have this line of severe thunderstorm warnings that extend all the way from Clarksville towards the Strawberry Bluffs, all the way through Hartman, into Franklin County, and then right into Sebastian County, right over Fort Chaffee, into Midland, Hartsfield, Greenwood were included in that as well, and that extends back west into Hackett. You cross the state line into Oklahoma, Bacola, and then Cameron were included. Poteau were not included at this time, but to our south, we're included in southern portions of LeFlore County. Where is this rain going to go next? Well, over time, guys, this thing is moving slow, because if you notice, it's traveling over the same locations. It's not really moving east very easily. It may be moving east by about 10 miles per hour. It is really slow. So Logan County, we're still waiting. In fact, the atmosphere is like, let's go ahead and get some rain popping, because this thing ain't moving, right? We're watching some of these downpours trying to pop right now over Scott County, there won't be severe. They're totally harmless, but some good downpours every once in a while, very hit or miss. And some of those will move into Logan County too. The only cell that's actually moving right now is that Johnson County cell. Oh, my thing timed out real quick. Hold on. Hope you guys are trying to get some sleep tonight. Of course, if you're watching this, you are not sleeping. All right, so let's take a look at the cell there towards Johnson County. See that very frequent lightning, really skimming the mountains. You get off the mountains and you head into the north side of Clarksville. We're waiting on that rain to clip us. It's just going to clip us. We'll probably get more rain later off into the night as we're watching more of those storms towards Ozark right now and Watalula. But this line's coming through. Let's check the hail really quick. It's had some hail there over the mountains. Here's just over the past 30 minutes, a little bit in this thing. So we've had some hail from Watalula into Batson. Most of the hail is in the higher terrain, so you know how it starts to go up out of Clarksville, and then it really starts to increase all of a sudden as you get to the base of the mountains. That's where we've had most of the hail, right next to that base. But don't be surprised if we do get some small hail clipping us in Clarksville. Very possible as this thing just kind of scoots by just towards our north. Let's take a look at some other hail pockets throughout the rest of the river valley. Looks like we've had some on and off hail in Sebastian County. It's weak though. All right, just real quick too, I'm also getting game reporting from the National Weather Service from earlier today, Delaware County. So just west of Benton County, we had that gust of wind that really hit us, and then it brought wind and some hail to northwest Arkansas. Well, that storm looks like it ripped off several shingles off of a lot of roofs in Colcord and Little Kansas there in eastern Oklahoma. So just an update there. LaFleur County, we don't have a lot of hail, but we still have some lightning and thunder. There's some small hail that starts to form and fall out of some of these clouds in Huebner and Howe, but it's not nearly as big as the hail that we had in Podo. They're about, just under an hour ago, something like that. Johnson County, that's where we have the biggest hail threat right now. Looks like it kind of uptick a little bit. Zoom in a little bit closer. Ferris Springs, Gillian Settlement, Garber. I mean, we're deep in the mountains here. You guys know who you are in northern Johnson County, east of Batson now. Watch out for some hail. Could get clipped in Clarksville. Could kind of clip us even in Hillcrest and Ludwig. Highway 123, it looks like. But then towards the south in Sebastian County, it's not as bad. Let's take a look at velocity. These are showing you the wind speeds across the area right now. Looks like our strongest winds are also in that storm in Johnson County. All right, so just kind of going off real quick. It would look like, just estimating some of these winds with the radar. Yeah, 65 mile per hour winds or so. That's estimated a little bit higher in the atmosphere, but some of that can be ducked down. Especially once you get to the mountains, then they're a little bit more accurate because the mountains go up into the radar beam just a little bit. But 67 mile per hour winds, 58, 62. So somewhere between that 55 to 65-ish is where we're watching those wind speeds right now generally. But this is all still west of 21. You got the Johnson County shooting range about here. So we're watching that wind come towards you guys. You head out on East Mount Zion Road, back west, towards Heritage Acres. But most of this is just on the southern fringes of the Boston Mountains. Going to try to clip us at Lake Ludwig. That nursery that's on 21, headed outside of town. Past the nursery on the north side of town, north of the University of the Ozarks. So most of this is going to be north of the main drag of Clarksville, but we could still get clipped with some wind and some rain too. All right, it looks like National Weather Service has canceled the severe thunderstorm watch for Benton, Crawford, Washington counties. That also includes Latimer County. Still included for Carroll, Franklin, Madison, Sebastian, Choctaw, LaFleur, and Pushmataha counties until 3 a.m. Looks like we also have some wind in southern Franklin County. This is coming right through Charleston and Branch. It was past the Budweiser can here about 20 minutes ago. But this thing's headed northeast towards Roseville and Altus, Etna, Meg. Peter Pender, there you are. Peter Pender, we're right in the thick of it right now. We've got gusty winds, estimating those 60. So the main batch for the severe thunderstorm warning is right coming through Peter Pender. We've got gusty winds, Meg, Etna. You're going to be included that within the next 5 minutes with some of those gusty winds as those press east. Altus, Denning, Weedeker Village, and even Ozark we could be watching. There's a new scan. Looks like it's got a little bit more intense too, but a good gust of wind coming out with that storm as well. I want to show you what it looks like outside live with our Ozark camera. Usually this camera is not, wow, okay. Usually this camera, we don't use it a lot at night because there's not a lot you can see. I tell you what, during the day, this is one of our most beautiful cameras, but we've got some decent lightning to work with, and so you're gonna see those flashes coming in from the west as we watch that storm. Ozark, we're probably, 10 minutes out from that gusty wind picking on through. Now we've had some storms around Ozark so far, but that next round's probably coming in the next 10 minutes. Very frequent lightning. And you can just tell the beautiful terrain that we have there in the Arkansas River. But watch out for, kind of watching there. Watch out for the gusty winds. Watch out for maybe some small hail, but right now it's that gusty wind threat that we think that's going to come into Ozark. I'm going to keep this camera up for a second, check a couple things off for just a moment. Yeah, this is coming up 48, coming in towards Webb City, and very close to Cecil. We'll be in Cecil here in a moment. So watch for that. And Ozark, that reissuing of the severe thunderstorm warning there. Looks like parts of Sebastian County have been expired out of their severe thunderstorm warning. That's good news. Just a closer look. We do have a new tornado warning that's coming out, though, for Newton County. Now, for 5 country, well, we don't include, but I'll go ahead and zoom in for a second because it's our only tornado warning we've had in western Arkansas today. Hard to tell, it's way up in the mountains, but you do see that rotation that's east of Boston. But it's safely in Newton County. Madison County, Johnson County, you don't have to worry about this. But Murray, Jasper, this is going to be just south of Ponca. But we're watching that rotation right where you see the kind of yellow and oranges mixing in with some of those reds there. That's the rotation, moving north and east. Tornado warning. If you're in Newton County, south of Ponca, make sure you take your tornado safe precautions. You want to make sure that you get into the lowest level of your house, away from windows. I know it's at night, but you want to wake the family up, get them into that safe spot, and make sure that they're protected. But we do have that rotation deep in the mountains, at least in this very unpopulated area. Beautiful area, though. Great waterfalls. I love to visit after the storms are gone. But good rotation coming in to Newton County. Let's take a look at some of the rotation farther south. Well, not much rotation, just some gusty winds. So that red kind of nose that you see that's poking into Johnson County, that's just this wall of wind pressing through. From Clarksville towards the north, that's where we're going to get clipped by the wind. The farther south you go, you get south of I-40, close to the Arkansas River, and into Logan County. I think we're good on this one, but most of the wind's going to be from Clarksville towards the north. New scan, it's just plowing eastbound right now. To be crossing 21 here at any moment. In fact, it's probably touching 21 there towards Lake Ludwig and near the Johnson County shooting range, which is about here. So that wind's starting to come in for you guys. Let's take a look farther south and west. Good pocket of wind there. See that bright pink. Meg, Etna, Cecil, we just picked up some of that wind. Let's see. And Webb City, you're going to be next. This is coming right towards our Ozark camera, too. I'll pop that up in just a second. But good gust of wind, some small hail probably likely with this as it's coming towards Whitaker Village, Altus, and Ozark. But Meg, Cecil, Etna, we're in the thick of it. Peter Pender, it looks like the wind's slowly dying down for us, and it's moving north and east. So Ozark, you're next. I'll show you what it looks like right now in Ozark. Some Pensacola. There we go. Here's a live look in Ozark. Step to the side so you can see a little bit better. Get some rounds of heavy rain with this. Oh, look at that lightning strike. Very loud night. Very loud night. Really, we haven't had much yet in Logan County and Scott County, but for most of us, we probably at least have heard the thunder. And I'll tell you what, some of us in Logan County and Scott County, you probably have heard the thunder off in the distance, at least those rumbles. Sometimes you can hear this stuff from 10 miles away or so. It just depends on a lot of the acoustics and the stability of the atmosphere and how the sound waves travel, and it gets kind of complicated. But everywhere else, we've had a loud night, and we're still dealing with it right now. But beautiful shot along the Arkansas River, very stormy shot. As you're looking back towards the west, you're looking at that wall of wind off in the distance. You're not really see the wind, but you may see a bit of a broad lowering in the sky. Not small enough to be like that mesocyclone that we track when there's rotation, but more of a wall that's coming in. That could definitely be possible. But we have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings left. Northwest Arkansas, we're almost done with even the light rain. We're just about there. Sequoia County, we've wrapped up the light rain too. Latimer, Haskell counties, we're doing a lot better. Madison County, we're getting close to being done with some of even the light rain. Carroll County, we still have heavy rain east towards Berryville, and that's exiting here shortly. But then in Poteau right now, we still have some rain, but you head south into Howe and Heavener, Worcester. We still have the heavy rain around us. Still that severe thunderstorm warning for south central LeFlore County with some winds and sometimes some hail. And then we've got the severe thunderstorm warning for southern Franklin County as that gust of winds headed right towards us in Ozark and Whitaker Village and Altus. And then we're getting clipped. You see that lightning too. Good pocket of lightning. I tell you what, there's a show looking from Clarksville towards the north, towards those Strawberry Bluffs. You can see this just takes a look at the clouds as well as that rain. I'm going to move this back for just a second. Severe thunderstorm warning. Let's see. All right, let's take a look at some hail now that we've looked at the wind. I'm going to move this map. Okay. There's our hail tracker. All right, this shows you over the last 30 minutes. We could have some hail coming into Ozark too, as well as that heavy rain and wind. So watch for that. That's in Ozark. The hail in Johnson County is staying mainly north of Clarksville. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if you got some tiny hail, maybe some pea-sized hail in Clarksville, but that would probably be it. Most of it towards the north on 21. In LeFlore County, we're struggling with the hail. We have some winds, but we don't have as much hail as we did earlier in Poteau. But there could still be some of these little pockets that hit us with some pea-sized hail. That would melt really quickly once it lands on the ground for a little bit. That's coming through LeFlore County right now. But otherwise, our biggest hail threat is towards the north. There's that tornado warning once again for Newton County. Murray is included in that. Let's see. Edwards Junction, Mossville, Walnut, and Red Rock included in that too. Let's take you live outside. Let's see, severe thunderstorm warning. It looks like the severe thunderstorm warning for LeFlore County is going to be expired here shortly. That's good news. Let me take you back to the camera. Live look in Ozark. I think it's almost right on top of us now with that gusty winds. Look how you can barely even see the banks as you're looking west, the banks of the river. These lightning strikes are probably going to be a little bit less defined, more just bright flashes as the rain is just coming in now. But yeah, you can barely see. Jeez. Very loud though in Ozark, of course. Lots of frequent lightning out there. Let us know if you're getting some of that hail. But there could be some small hail with this. That looks like the bigger hail is towards the east in Johnson County, not so much in Franklin County right now. But Ozark, man, it is loud out there. And we are picking up some good water, some good rainfall. Many of us have picked up some good rainfall so far today, west of Clarksville and west of Booneville. We're still waiting on some of that in Logan County. Logan County, we've still been waiting for forever. In Scott County, we've had some scattered downpours for us here and there. Let's see. Yeah, here in a moment, you're going to see this one go away on the radar, as that warning is canceled. We still have that severe thunderstorm warning for southern Franklin County right now with that gusty wind threat. Closer look. Look how messy everything is too. Remember earlier it was just this monster complex of storms, and now we've got still a lot of heavy rain pockets. But when you're starting to see all these little pockets go up around it, generally the atmosphere's kind of lost its structure. There's not a good formation anymore. You're seeing all these pockets try to rise up in the atmosphere, but this is showing you a big weakening. Of course, we have small pockets of some wind that are still kind of blowing through. We have some of that in Johnson County. We have some of that going right through Ozark right now. But you have these small pockets while the majority of us just continue to get heavy rain. We're getting that heavy rain, getting dosed right now in Greenwood. I'm just kind of curious. I'll take a look at rainfall. Hold on. Let's do... I'm going to change the legend a little bit. All right. We picked up some decent rain. When you see that yellow, you picked up close to 3 inches. The darker greens, 1 to 2. You get the lighter greens generally under an inch. But we picked up some good water with this storm. And we're continuing to pick up a lot from LaFleur County and Sebastian County. We're making up some of those totals as the rain just continues to hit us over and over in the same spots. Just, it's hard to quit. Here's that closer look, but we're seeing a lot of structure die though. Let's see. I'm gonna look at hail again and then wind. Kind of guys, kind of get the gist of how this works. You just kind of keep rotating. Still a good pocket of hail in the mountains. There could be a little bit of hail in Ozark. You see that gray blotch, and then the largest hail right now is in northern Johnson County. This is quarter-sized hail, maybe even up to ping-pong-sized hail, pushing near the Strawberry Bluffs. But this is away from Clarksville. It's towards the east, north and east, headed out of the county. But in the mountains, boy, we're getting some good hail right now. Back off towards the west in a moment. I don't know why it's taking for a second, but this thing should expire here in just a second. Really just have this pocket left to the east. And we still have some wind too. 60-mile-per-hour winds up to in the mountains. And then it looks like the wind's starting to dissipate in Ozark. Yeah, we're down to 40, maybe up to 50. So that's under severe limits right now. So we're kind of wrapping things up now as storms sit over us for a little bit. See really how broken it's getting. So we're right at the tail end of this storm. Technically, the one for southeastern Franklin County continues to 145. And then this rain is going to, it looks like it's just finally about to hit us in Paris. Paris, we've been waiting all day. Nothing's happened. Paris, we're about to get some. Clarksville, we're about to get some next as well. But we're wrapping things up. The severe threats have really gone down. I tell you what, really, we're just watching in the mountains. The wind has gone down in Franklin County. We're looking a lot better. Yeah, there's still a warning out there, but the severe threat has gone down quite a bit. This one, we're having a hard time getting that off the system. It's kind of a data issue, but that one is now gone and expired. We still have some heavy rain and some lightning and a little bit of wind, but it's really kind of teetered out for some of us in LaFleur County. But we're wrapping this system up. Thank goodness. Guys, it's going to be so much cooler tomorrow. There it goes. See, now it's gone. We're going to be so much cooler tomorrow. We're going to drop to the 30s and 40s, and we're just going to stay there. You're not going to really watch temperatures move very much tomorrow. Got that northwest wind. Got mostly cloudy skies. I tell you what, in northwest Arkansas, if we can get to about 35, there could even be a stray flurry outside. We'll watch for that. But otherwise, make sure you keep it here, keep it local, and as always, we'll keep you advised. You guys have a good night. We'll hop on if these storms start to pop up a little bit more, but right now, they're looking a lot weaker.